In the noisy life of the modern world, sometimes silence is not only golden, but also the highest form of contempt. And today, we will delve deep into this meaning of silence, like a dense veil of understanding, where knowledge and power reside. As the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once advised, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This profundity sets the foundation for our journey today as we explore the mysterious world of silence and its powerful role in Stoicism. So, in this video, we're not just discussing the act of withholding speech. We're exploring the art of using silence as a strategic tool, a source of strength, and a path to profound wisdom. Join me as we go through 10 transformative traits of the quiet ones, revealing how silence can become a potent force in our lives. Stoic silence isn't merely the absence of words. It's a deliberate and meaningful expression. Philosophers like Seneca recognized the immense value and weight of silence in our communication and life choices. It acts as a mirror, reflecting the true depth of our character and intentions. With each revelation, we not only learn how to become quieter individuals, but also better listeners and deeper thinkers. Prepare to uncover the layers of intelligence and power that silence brings. As is customary before we begin, I have a small challenge for you. Watch the entire video and don't skip any of the types of people we mention below, because each one brings valuable lessons about the power and importance of silence in life and human relationships. If you're ready for this challenge, leave a comment. I'm ready to conquer the challenge, and let's dive into Number 1. Silence attracts attention. Have you ever wondered why silence isn't just the absence of noise, but also a profound source of strength? It's because, in a quiet space, everything becomes clearer, allowing thoughts and emotions to settle and develop freely. Choosing not to speak hastily not only prevents us from uttering premature words, but also creates a mysterious allure, making others wonder and desire to understand our thoughts. Silence carries a powerful impact, capable of altering how others perceive and interact with us. It's a strategic choice, helping us avoid unnecessary arguments and keeping the mind calm and focused. In Stoic philosophy, silence is seen as a form of self-control, a means to shield oneself from external disturbances. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter." In silence, we find personal strength to refrain from unconscious reactions to challenges and provocations. We learn to wait, listen, and when necessary, act thoughtfully. Silence is a practice of mindfulness, a way to live consciously and purposefully. It's not just about refraining from speech, but also about not letting the noise of the modern world disrupt the tranquility within. When choosing silence as part of daily life, we not only attract attention, but also develop patience and self-awareness. Have you ever experienced the power of silence to change circumstances or perceptions? Silence, with all its subtle strength, can be the key to deeper self-understanding and understanding of the world around you. Sometimes, silence can be your most powerful weapon. When you choose to remain silent in front of an opponent, you not only keep your strategic secrets, but also create a veil of mystery that leaves them questioning and worrying. This increases pressure on them, forcing them to confront their doubts and uncertainties. Let's explore how silence can become a strategic tool, providing unexpected advantages in confrontation. Number 2. Silence confuses the opponent. Silence is not only golden, but also a strategy. When we choose not to respond to provocations, opponents can become confused. This isn't a new technique. It has been used and praised by Stoic philosophers as a form of mental strength. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "Silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life." When you choose silence instead of engaging in an argument, you not only maintain calmness, but also demonstrate silent strength. Your opponents won't know what you're thinking, and they often reveal their weaknesses in self-defense. Consider the story of David and Goliath. While Goliath shouted challenges, David chose not to respond with words. Instead, he focused on his strategy, using silence as a mysterious veil over his next actions. David's silence made Goliath feel confused, and ultimately led to his glorious victory. Silence, in many cases, is also a sign of self-control and humility before God. As Jesus showed before Pontius Pilate, he chose silence as an answer. This not only puzzled Pilate, but also made the witnesses reflect on the silent power of truth and patience. Thus, we see that silence is not merely a passive choice. It is an active choice to disrupt the opponent's mind, leaving them directionless while we maintain wisdom and serenity. In the battle between noise and silence, sometimes silence is the strongest voice. If you agree with our viewpoint, please leave a comment. Silence is the key below this video. Number 3. Story time. Not all the time does speech serve as the most effective means of conveying intentions and emotions. Sometimes, silence opens up a new space where deeper contemplation and understanding are nurtured. Followers of Stoicism believe that silence is not only a skill of self-control, but also an expression of inner strength. The story of Anthony, a merchant in ancient times, vividly illustrates this power. In a negotiation, while everyone around was expressing their views fervently, Anthony chose not to speak. He listened, observed, and waited. When everyone had finished speaking, he calmly presented his decision, a decision carefully thought out, unaffected by emotions or pressure. This decision not only brought great benefit to Marcus, but also earned admiration for Anthony's patience and wisdom from others. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "Let silence be your general rule, or say only what is necessary, and in few words." This not only reflects self-control, but also freedom from arrogance and self-importance, things that often lead us astray. Moreover, silence is also linked to the teachings of the divine. In the Bible, there are many passages about seeking silence before God to listen and understand His will. Be still and know that I am God. Psalms chapter 46 verse 10 is not only a reminder of His supreme power, but also an invitation for us to seek peace within our souls, where the truth can be most clearly reflected. The story of Anthony and the teachings of Epictetus both point to a truth. In a noisy world where everyone is trying to be heard, sometimes true power lies in moments of quietude, where understanding and wisdom are nurtured and developed. Have you ever wondered why those who speak less often possess unusually deep insights? Behind their silence, is it perhaps a treasure trove of wisdom forged through experience? And if you could learn this art of reflective contemplation, how would it change your life? Let's explore the art of reflective intelligence, one of the most precious secrets of those who choose to remain silent. Number 4. The art of reflective wisdom. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is a reminder from Marcus Aurelius that still resonates in Stoic philosophy to this day. Reflective intelligence, contrasting with the raw outburst of emotions, is a profound lens to perceive and evaluate all aspects of life. It's not just a skill, it's an art. Those who truly understand and apply this intelligence are often serene and insightful. They don't rush to judge, nor impulsively react, but choose a thoughtful approach to understand the deep nature of the issue. It's not hesitancy, but a refined filtering of information and emotions, thereby making decisions that are not only righteous, but also have long-lasting impacts. In the workplace and personal relationships, reflective intelligence is the key to unlocking doors of empathy and understanding. Its possessors know that every word and every action can make a difference. Thus, they meticulously and consciously choose each word. Through this, they not only build solid relationships, but also enhance effectiveness in conflict resolution and promote mutual growth. The story of Marcus Aurelius once again vividly illustrates the power of reflective intelligence. Marcus Aurelius used his journal as a means to practice reflective intelligence. In his writings, he documented how he faced pressures and challenges not just as a ruler, but also as an individual. These reflections were not just advice on managing an empire, but also on how he managed himself and his emotions during difficult times. Marcus Aurelius saw reflective intelligence not just as a tool for survival in politics, but also as a means to seek tranquility and peace in personal life. The lessons from his journal provide endless inspiration for those seeking to transcend instability and conflicts through profound contemplation and inner control. Indeed, transitioning from reactive communication to reflection is not just a personal step, but also a societal progress. As each of us strives to understand deeply and empathize more. The shared space we inhabit becomes more peaceful and understanding. And in the silence of reflection, we find the strength not just to face, but to overcome every challenge. Number 5. Silence builds strength. Before we delve deeper into Lesson 5, let's begin with a classic example. In a debate, while one side keeps speaking, the other chooses to remain silent. The silent individual, with a calm demeanor, is often perceived as wiser. They use silence not only to shield themselves from potentially counterproductive words, but also to attract attention, making others focus on them, even though it's not clear who is right or wrong. Silence is golden, a phrase that not only sounds simple, but also contains great power in shaping the impressions and viewpoints of others. Silence is not an agreement or consent to what is being said, but rather a method to maintain personal integrity and sometimes to avoid the unintended consequences of hastily spoken words. There's a story about a certain company. During a meeting, the director asked if anyone had any opinions or suggestions, and this was a good time for open exchanges. Everyone eagerly contributed their opinions, except for one young man who remained silent from start to finish. Eventually, the director noticed and asked why he hadn't voiced his opinion like everyone else. He said that since he was new to the company, it was best to listen to others to learn from their experiences. The director thought this young man was quite special. Even though he didn't speak at that moment, he had already captured the director's attention. Later, he was transferred to the director's personal secretary position. In this meeting, some people made very commendable contributions. So why did the director prefer the quiet young man? The young man wasn't incapable of speaking, as through his words, he had already demonstrated his intelligence and humble attitude towards learning. He was smart, knowing how to conserve his energy. Although he didn't speak eloquently like others, he still managed to draw the boss's attention through timely silence, which was also a clever tactic. The silence of this young man demonstrated two things. Firstly, he had already stated that he needed to learn from others because he was new to the company. Secondly, he knew how to seize the opportunity to market himself to his boss. And of course, with his modest attitude, he attracted the boss's attention and later had the opportunity for promotion. Through the case of this young man, we can see that sometimes silence can be more powerful than words. Those who know how to keep silent are also wise. In some cases, the mouth harms the self, and timely silence can be a smart choice. This story illustrates that sometimes silence can be more effective than words. It not only demonstrates the ability to control oneself, but also a smart strategy in building personal image and career. When applied correctly and at the right time, silence can truly bring strength and make a significant difference. Before moving on to the next content, we would like to express our gratitude to you for accompanying us halfway through this video. The perspective on silence and inner strength through Stoic philosophy has been shared, but what's important is your reflection on them. Let us know which idea has left the deepest impression on you? Don't rush to give your answer, as it might be addressed in the next part of this video. Keep watching and exploring. Number 6. Resilience and adversity. In a world where noise often incessantly echoes, the power of silence is often overlooked. But for those quietly steadfast individuals, silence is not just a choice. It's an expression of strength in the face of adversity and challenges. These individuals understand that speaking isn't always necessary to exert strength. Sometimes, silence is the most powerful response to every stimulus. It's how they maintain calmness and focus. Quiet perseverance not only brings resilience, it's also a sign of profound respect for inner processes and personal development. In the silence, lessons of patience and endurance seep deep into the soul, enabling individuals to not only confront external challenges, but also triumph over internal ones. The lessons from silent perseverance demonstrate that there's no need for grand gestures or verbal battles. Resilience can still be expressed through daily decisions and actions. This is crucial in nurturing healthy relationships and building trust with those around us. Silence isn't the absence of action. It's a calculated choice to prevent emotions from overpowering reason. Applied to everyday life, silent perseverance helps us achieve peace and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. By pausing impulsive reactions and allowing the mind to settle, we create space for creativity and reflection, enabling us to face challenges with clarity and purpose. Ask yourself, in your life, how many times have you chosen silence as a form of patience and control, instead of letting emotions overshadow what you're striving to build? Share your stories and insights in the comments. Through the lens of Stoicism, listening is not just a simple act, it's a profound art. We not only receive words, but also open up a new space where every sound and every silence holds deep meaning. Let's explore how silence can become a powerful means to understand and connect with the world around us, and practice listening, not just with our ears, but also with our hearts and minds. Number 7. The art of deep listening. Imagine yourself standing amidst a dense forest, where the rustling of leaves and the ceaseless chirping of birds create a symphony of nature. In that space, suddenly, a moment of unexpected silence emerges, causing all sounds to seemingly pause, to make way for profound listening. This vividly illustrates the notion of the art of deep listening, a virtue celebrated in Stoic philosophy as precious. Amidst the noisy flow of the modern world, seeking and maintaining those moments of silence is not just a challenge, but also a precious gift, offering understanding and deep connection for both the listener and those around them. When we choose to listen attentively, we not only hear what is said, but also feel the weight of the words, opening up a space for understanding and mutual respect. Silence is not emptiness. It is a sign of profound preparation, where we are free from arrogance and conceit, making each of our subsequent utterances more impactful and meaningful. In both personal and professional relationships, this skill of deep listening can make a significant difference. It not only helps us better understand others' perspectives and emotions, but also contributes to building trust and connection. Through genuine listening, we demonstrate profound care and respect for the speaker, which can resolve conflicts and enhance cooperation. Learning from those who possess the ability to listen attentively is also a valuable lesson. These individuals often maintain a humble attitude and are ready to absorb knowledge, understanding that every conversation is a learning opportunity, not a battleground for victory. As taught in James 1:19 about being quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger, this underscores the importance of listening. It's not just a skill, but also a part of the path towards spiritual and moral growth. Number 8. Eliminate distractions. When we resolve to eliminate the unnecessary, we seem to be opening up a new space, a stage for the mind, where hidden strength can freely manifest. This tranquility not only helps us to be more confident in our words, but also in how we perceive and process the information around us. This peace allows us to face the outside world with a confident and discerning attitude. Differentiating between important and unimportant information is an essential step in this process. As Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "Not every stimulus deserves our attention." When we learn to filter out what is important, we avoid being overwhelmed by superfluous details and distractions that do not add value. An illustrative example of this can be drawn from the life of King David in the Bible. In his battle against Goliath, David was not distracted by the size or power of the enemy, but focused only on what he needed to do, using skill and faith in God to defeat Goliath. This event not only demonstrates the power of tranquility, but also illustrates how David clearly distinguished between what was important, his faith and goal, and what was not, the physical threat from Goliath. The method of deep concentration, as applied by Marcus Aurelius, is about directing energy into the present and meaningful tasks. When the mind is not distracted by irrelevant factors, we can achieve greater clarity and deeper reflection. Ultimately, decision-making through reflection allows us not only to react to circumstances, but also to actively make choices based on understanding and sustainable values. This brings autonomy, freedom, and peace, reflecting the ultimate goal of Stoic philosophy. With each carefully considered choice, we demonstrate not only inner self-control, but also a profound respect for life and those around us. Pride and arrogance are often seen as characteristics of success. But are they the doors to true happiness? Let's explore a less discussed aspect of Stoic philosophy: freedom from pride and arrogance. This is not just a lesson in humility, but also a journey of discovering inner strength, where silence is not only a choice, but also an expression of power. Number 9. Freedom from pride or arrogance. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wrote, let there be freedom from perturbations with respect to the things which come from the external cause. When we remove unnecessary distractions, we not only enhance our ability to focus, but also cultivate autonomy, a virtue highly esteemed in Stoicism. We recall the teachings of Jesus in the Bible, where he calls his disciples to go into your room, close the door, and pray. Matthew chapter 6, verse 6. In this silence, it's not just about avoiding external noise, but also about seeking an inner space for a deeper connection with faith and personal values. In a competitive and ever-changing business world, focus is paramount to success. A successful entrepreneur named Frank, whose career is a testament to his time management and high level of concentration, demonstrated this in an important meeting. Before the meeting, he instructed everyone to turn off all electronic devices and made it clear that interruptions were not allowed. This careful preparation not only eliminated potential sources of distraction, but also established a serious and professional atmosphere for the meeting. Throughout the meeting, all participants were highly focused on the discussion topic, with no ringing phones or distracting messages. This created conditions for deep and open exchange of opinions, leading to important decisions being made quickly and accurately. These decisions not only addressed immediate challenges, but also laid the groundwork for sustainable development in the company's future. This entrepreneur's steadfastness in eliminating distractions not only increased work efficiency, but also reflected a respect for the time and effort of each individual involved, thereby enhancing the overall value of the organization. Thus, eliminating distractions is not only a step towards optimizing work efficiency, but also a spiritual journey where we learn to slow down, cherish each moment, and develop a deeper relationship with ourselves and the world. Number 10. Silence in negotiations. In Stoic philosophy, silence helps us focus on the essence of the issue, avoiding being carried away by transient emotions or unnecessary words. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest emperors of Rome, and a Stoic philosopher, once said, "You always own the option of having no opinion." There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. This is particularly valuable in negotiation contexts, where every word and every silence can influence the outcome. Consider a business negotiation between two large companies, Company A and Company B. Company A, aiming to maximize its benefits, consistently makes demands and imposes pressure, hoping to push Company B into accepting terms quickly. However, Company B does not rush to respond. Instead, they choose to remain silent, a deliberate strategy to allow time for deep reflection and gather necessary information. In meetings, representatives of Company B listen attentively and take meticulous notes, but rarely respond immediately. This silence creates a tense atmosphere, but also prompts Company A's negotiators to begin questioning the strength and strategy of their counterparts. They are no longer certain of their position and start reconsidering their initial demands. With each encounter, Company B, after thorough analysis, gradually provides carefully crafted responses, not only helping them avoid being dragged into fruitless arguments, but also making their counterpart seriously reconsider. The result is a more balanced agreement, reflecting deep understanding and diligence from Company B, benefiting both parties in the long run. Silence in negotiation from the Stoic perspective is not just an absence. It's a space for reflection, profound listening, and making accurate decisions. It allows us to step back to comprehensively perceive the issue, thereby finding solutions that are not only fair, but also sustainable. Silence becomes a powerful tool, demonstrating maturity and wisdom, bringing us closer to the essence of fairness and truth. At the end of today's video, we see that silence is not just an expression of restraint, but also a reflection of strength and confidence. Through Stoic philosophy, we have discovered that silence is not merely the absence of speech, but also a way to grasp sincerity and a profound understanding of the world around us. Continue your journey with patience and composure. Share your thoughts on this topic in the comments section below. If you find this article helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel to not miss out on the latest content on motivation and Stoic philosophy. Thank you for accompanying us on this journey. Keep watching the next videos displayed at the end of today's video to continue gaining motivation and living a more meaningful life every day. See you in the next videos.